Welcome back to R Life OurLoud Travel. Today is day 2, and it's a sea day as we sail from Cape Liberty, New Jersey to our first port of call, Cape Canaveral, Florida, which will arrive tomorrow afternoon. We've settled in nicely to our Crown Loft Suite and are getting a good feel for this massive ship. Is everyone ready to head to breakfast?
Yeah. And he's gonna eat everything at the table. This is a sweet life.
We're just going to head to the Coastal Kitchen this morning, which is a suites and Pinnacle Club only area. The restaurant is located on the 17th floor and has large floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook the pool deck below and the ocean beyond. Breakfast is served until 10 a.m. and is full service. We were quickly seated and promptly ordered. Other breakfast options include the Windjammer Marketplace, the main dining room, Solarium Bistro, and room service, as well as 2 grab-and-go options at Cafe Promenade and the Park Cafe. We enjoy the option of the suite-only private restaurant as we prefer to avoid the crowds. My wife would rather sit down for a slower-paced breakfast and be served, whereas I prefer a quick trip to the buffet and serve myself. On this day, I got to do both, because after they told us that they would not be able to provide gluten-free food, Mylan and I headed down to Windjammer, one deck below, to see if there are any better gluten-free options. Later in the week, I spoke to a manager about this, and he did fix the issue.
I will have the eggs Benedict and a side of bacon.
After breakfast, we headed out to the Boardwalk for some of our favorite onboard experiences. Our plan for the day was to do all of the dry activities before lunch and then hit up the wet ones in the afternoon. Alright, so after breakfast here, we're going to do some morning rock climbing. Decided to do this because we're still dry, so we'll do this, then we'll grab some lunch, and then probably get wet after lunch. But right now, we just came up here, got our shoes on. Now we're getting harnessed up for some rock climbing. One nice thing back here on the rock climbing platform, has a pretty good overview of the aqua theater, but it also has a pretty good view towards the back of the ship, seeing where we came from. We headed directly to the rock climbing wall. This has become a favorite of our daughters since our previous cruise on the Symphony. You must be 6 years of age to climb, wear dry clothing, and have socks. They provide the harness and the climbing shoes. As it was still early in the cruise, the lines here were much shorter than what they were later in the week. Our advice is to do these activities early in the week as there will be less of a wait. While all Oasis class ships have 2 rock walls, we have only ever seen them use the one on the starboard side. Each wall has 4 different paths, each of varying difficulty. On the Oasis, the dark green hand grips that were the closest to the gate was the easiest route and best for beginners. Throughout the week, the girls tried all of the different paths, but did prefer the closer one. Regardless of the path chosen, each one had difficult parts. The green, beginner line had some beyond vertical spaces, as well as others that had very widely spaced handholds. Our youngest Mia is only 6, and there were times on the wall where she could not physically reach the next grab. Both girls really enjoy this activity, and honestly probably prefer the ride back down as much as they like the climb. The staff is helpful and encouraging. On this day, Mia was able to ring the bell at the top of the wall, and they awarded her with a special medal. While we were rock climbing, we got to see the award ceremony for the Crown and Anchor Society, Royal Caribbean's loyalty program. Top officers spoke, and select individuals were recognized who achieved pinnacle status, which starts at 700 points. They also recognized the lady who had the most cruise points on board.
Welcome Mrs. Jamie Penny, and I will try to get that right. She has 3,337 cruise points everywhere. That's an amazing milestone.
After conquering the rock wall, the girls and I headed up to the sports deck to ride the ultimate abyss. This 216-foot dry slide descends 10 decks in a matter of seconds. Riders must wear a top with sleeves and be 44 inches tall to participate. Carrie will not do enclosed slides, so she met us down on the boardwalk on deck 6. Riders sit on a special mat that is made to ease the glide and ensure that they hit the average maximum speed of 9 miles per hour. Each slide is a dark tunnel equipped with flashing lights and an audio system that plays sounds on the way down. The ultimate abyss delivered us onto the boardwalk right beside Playmakers. We decided to grab lunch here and enjoy the open air atmosphere and the excitement of the area. Although there are tables inside and out, the majority of the outside tables on the boardwalk are not used by the restaurant. We found a booth right inside and were promptly greeted by a server. As we had the unlimited dining plan, our lunches on sea days are included. Although our server was unfamiliar with the gluten-free options, she spoke to a chef and we were able to identify options which were naturally gluten-free and those that could be modified. We started out with an order of nachos for the table. For the non-allergy side, Carrie got the buffalo chicken wrap and Mia got the chicken fingers. Both Mylan and I got the house burger, which was served on a gluten-free bun with fries. Regardless of how full Carrie claimed to be, she can never leave here without the campfire s'mores dessert. It's a warm cookie with Nutella and caramel sauce, covered with melted marshmallows and served with vanilla ice cream and cold milk. After lunch, we walked around the ship, but ultimately decided not to swim. We headed back to our room for some quiet relaxation on the balcony. Alright, it's late afternoon, early evening, a little after 5. Had a pretty good sea day here, day 2. It's first formal night, so Carrie made us dress up, and now we're going to have to go get pictures. But they all just walked out and headed over to the lounge to see if there was any snacks to eat. Had a great day, spent most of our outdoor time rock climbing, then we did some other stuff, had some lunch. But now we're going to head out. Carrie's going to force us to get pictures, so we're going to go down, see if there's any picture opportunities. Then we'll feed the girls because they want to go to camp tonight, so we'll feed them, then drop them off at camp at 7, and then we'll go to dinner. This is the view out the room. Incredible room. But we're going to head out now and see what they found over at the Suite Lounge. Each night there was a small presentation of appetizers that generally included a variety of meats, cheeses, and cold hors d'oeuvres and desserts, including shrimp cocktail shooters, chocolate-covered strawberries, and veggies. In addition to this, there were 4 hot dishes nightly. While the hot dishes did rotate throughout the week, the cold side had less variation. Mylan loved all the chocolate-covered strawberries and even tried prosciutto for the first time. The lounge also offers a complimentary cocktail hour every day from 5 to 8 p.m. What do you think of the Suite Lounge?
I love it. The hors d'oeuvres are delicious. The drinks are free and plentiful.
As we left the Suite Lounge, we headed to Adventure Ocean. During registration, we were told that each area had a capacity limit. For our girls' age group, it was a maximum of 75. There were no reservations required, and spots were filled on a first-come basis. Evening camp opened at 7 p.m., so we always tried to get there pretty close to opening. Dinner tonight was at 150 Central Park. The restaurant is nestled in the Central Park neighborhood on Deck 8 in the middle of the ship. More than 10,000 live plants and flowers give Central Park its wow factor. The greenery, combined with vine-draped awnings, stone wall accents, benches, and other park-like touches, give this space its ambiance. During the evening, you'll generally find a musician. On most evenings of our sailing, it was a solo guitarist.
You guys have a good day?
It was.
It was pretty good.
I wish if I could do that too.
Dinner was exactly what we expected. The menu was clearly marked with numerous gluten-free options. Our meal started with the scallops, a Caesar salad, and then progressed to the lobster thermidor. The food was very good, and the service was top-notch. One of the unique features of Central Park is the Rising Tide Bar. This bar does as its name indicates. It rises. It will go from the promenade on deck 5 and slowly climb to Central Park on deck 8.